Imagine spending decades cultivating your reputation, ladies and gentlemen, only to discover it is under attack one day, not from adversaries or rivals, but from someone you once believed to be on your side. Papoose says he's currently living that exact nightmare. There are rumors circulating in the industry that Papoose is tired of remaining silent. Claressa Shields, the self-proclaimed goat of boxing, is supposedly telling his friends, interviewers, and anybody else who will listen, that she didn't simply break his heart. She attempted to ruin his whole career. We're discussing deliberate slander, behind-the-scenes calls to event planners, and what he describes as a planned operation to discredit him in the field. According to sources, he has voice notes, emails, invoices, and even messages in which Claressa allegedly boasts about ensuring Pap remains hidden. Here's the actual twist, though. According to several insiders, this was business-related rather than personal. Claressa wanted to replace Papoose in the precise places that gave him legitimacy, not merely make him look bad. Is a sour divorce turning into full-fledged career warfare in this instance? Or is Papoose changing the story to look good? This rabbit hole is deep, so fasten your seatbelt. The room froze, not simply falling silent as Papoose finally spoke. No clever captions on Instagram. There were no nuanced subliminals, just a man speaking the words that no one anticipated while gazing at the camera. She attempted to kill me. Hip-hop, let's face it, loves a nasty breakup, so at first, people believed he was being dramatic. However, this was not the usual rumor cycle of he cheated. She cheated. Papoose wasn't discussing lost love. He was referring to the declared war and its purported perpetrator, Claressa Shields. Yes, that Olympic gold medalist, self-described GWAT, and unbeaten fighter Claressa in terms of professional sabotage. Papoose is unbeaten at this point if he is to be believed. Industry sources claim that they are the type of people who only converse in dimly lit lounges, while holding their phones face down after their relationship ended. Papoose and Claressa's conflict persisted after the breakup. It allegedly got out of hand when Claressa was supposedly making phone calls behind the scenes, while still grinning for the cameras, according to one promoter, who naturally requested anonymity. It wasn't even subtle. I received a call, and it was the voice she used. She didn't advise against booking Papoose. However, she added, you know who not to invite if you want me at your event, and believe me, you pay attention when Claressa Shields says something like that. This wasn't petty. If it's true, this was a premeditated move. And that's precisely the reason Papoose has begun using phrases like blackballing and career destruction in private discussions, words you don't use unless you have substantial proof. This is where things start to get messy. According to reports, Claressa's camp is dismissing all of this as irrational storytelling. However, some whisperers claim that this isn't only ego bruising. Some claim that Claressa was attempting to replace Papoose rather than merely harm him. Consider it. Papoose established a name for years as serving as a liaison between the hip-hop and certain sports communities, organizing events, attending charity games, and being that respectable yet safe face you could use on a flyer. However, those identical faces began to see Claressa's name when she joined his orbit. It felt normal at first. She is a victor. She can be sold. She's a breath of fresh air. However, the timing seems off. This gem was revealed by a person close to an event organizing team. Papoose was scheduled to participate in a panel discussion. We learn that the panel is being reorganized a week later. Who's the main attraction now? Claressa is discussing how she has always wished to combine her love of music with fighting. It seemed deliberate. Papoose began to see a trend. If the whispers are to be believed, all of a sudden, the calls that had previously reached him ceased. She was receiving invites that he would typically receive, and the responses were evasive when he inquired as to why. Creative direction, schedule, issues, and budget adjustments. Here's the worst part, though. Could that be a fake? One purportedly leaked email from a mid-level event coordinator stated quite clearly, Claressa requested that if she's on the roster, Papoose isn't, of course. Is it plausible enough to account for Papoose's recent outburst of resentment? Yes, absolutely. Naturally, social media is consuming this. One, the purported timeline is broken down in another popular TikTok like a Netflix documentary, complete with scary background music and grainy photographs of Papoose looking progressively anxious. The tweet, which has received over 40,000 likes, reads, "She beat opponents in a ring. Now she's knocking out careers. Not to be overlooked is Remy Ma." Although she hasn't discussed these recent allegations in public, let's just say that her likes on some dubious tweets aren't particularly subtle. People are now asking whether Remy knew this was going on all along. As the story of Papoose, the devoted husband being betrayed, has changed to one of Papoose, the industry veteran, being forced out of his own lane. Claressa isn't exactly hiding. Of course, she shared a number of Instagram stories from a business luncheon last week, where she served as a keynote speaker. Coincidentally, Papoose has performed as a guest in prior years. Leveling up means leaving dead weight behind was the caption she wrote for one of her photos. Whether it was a direct shot or a generic life motto, the internet took it and ran with it. Papoose, meanwhile, is taking the long view. No hectic lies, no furious outbursts, simply brief, thoughtful remarks made during interviews, deliberately sowing the seeds that Claressa is not the champion that everyone believes her to be. He said this during a radio interview. The battle isn't always fought in the ring. Sometimes, people are aiming at your livelihood in the boardroom. And believe me when I say that the stakes are raised when a public dispute is presented as a struggle for existence. This leads us to the most crucial query. Is Papoose able to provide proof? Or is all of this a part of a bigger story he's making up to avoid seeming foolish? After a terrible breakup because he has been secretly assembling a folder, according to reports. Yes, yet another notorious folder with text messages, call logs, and witness accounts from people who claim to have witnessed Claressa scheming against him. It could end your career if this folder is present. However, for whom? Papoose if it turns out to be a house of cards based on ego and rumors. Or Claressa if the accusations are true. In any case, the first blows have been delivered and they are not the kind that can be absorbed with a simple apology. An ex-manager who had previously worked with both Papoose and Claressa entered the story, just when it appeared that things couldn't get much messier. A confidential source claims that the former manager has a wealth of behind-the-scenes information and is thinking about coming public. Oh, this will be more than simply a quarrel if that occurs. It will be a seismic event for the industry. The former manager didn't remain silent for long. In a matter of days, the rumors became leaks, which in turn became loud industry rumors. This anonymous insider claims that the alleged Claressa campaign against Papoose was more than a petty reaction. Allegedly, it was organized months in advance. Claressa allegedly thought Papoose's ties in the entertainment industry were a fast cut. Dating someone who already has connections with promoters, label executives, and media outlets is preferable to gradually developing them. And why keep the middleman once those doors were open? Claressa and a close friend allegedly exchanged the following text: "Once I'm in the room, this is about me now. I don't need Pat there." Although the message's veracity hasn't been confirmed, it has been screen captured and circulated on all of Instagram's chaotic gossip pages. Papoose's staff has been carefully pursuing public relations in the meantime. Instead of revealing everything at once, they are allowing the drama to unfold gradually. Here is one exclusive interview. There was one mysterious post. The result is a calm, well-paced story that keeps Claressa on the defense without giving Papoose a desperate appearance. The internet, however, is everything but patient. Let's face it. The entire tale is what fans want, and they want it now. A group of self-described industry professionals dissected the chronology minute by minute in one widely shared YouTube live show, evaluating anything for evidence of Claressa's purported takeover, including old concert flyers and archival Instagram stories. This is where it becomes even juicier. According to the former manager, Claressa secured partnerships using Papoose's name by convincing event organizers that he would attend, then abruptly canceling and filling in herself. It would explain why some of Papoose's long-standing relationships abruptly cooled off if that were the case. In the corporate world, nobody enjoys getting burned. Additionally, your stock quickly declines if your name is linked to faulty looks. We learned this from a promoter who went by the nickname Mikey B. Papoose was reserved for a charitable function. I received the confirmation. We find out 2 weeks later that Claressa is coming in his place since he has double booked. It appeared to be a combined appearance. Not at all, only her. Only her. She spoke, took pictures, and walked away. Hap was completely unaware of it. This presents a harsh image of true, strategic erasure as well as romantic betrayal. However, not everyone is on board. Papoose's version of events, according to certain industry sources, conveniently ignores the reality that his own booking frequency had been declining long before Claressa joined the scene. Claressa didn't replace him. One blogger even stated, "This isn't sabotage. Its relevance has decayed. The game simply went on." Even yet, Claressa's image is awful, particularly when you consider her actions on social media. Hours after the former manager's accusations gained widespread attention, she shared a video of herself striking a punching bag and wrote, "When people accuse her of sabotage because they can't keep up, her admirers were thrilled." The gap in public opinion widened as her detractors characterized her as aloof and conceited. In the meantime, Remima's silent sideline lurking has raised suspicions. Although she hasn't directly addressed the disagreement, astute admirers have noticed It's unclear whether the tweet she liked was about Claressa, Papoose, or something else entirely. But in gossip wars, even the smallest social media action may make headlines, it said, karma. Don't miss, the most outrageous aspect is that there are currently reports that Claressa may have her own folder on Papoose, which are obviously unfounded. It allegedly includes information on past transactions that went awry, unpaid appearances, and behind-the-scenes activities that could change the story to her advantage. If she drop it, this will be a campaign of scorched soil. Not just a dispute, the stakes continue to rise. Papoose has made it clear that he is thinking about filing a lawsuit not for defamation, but for interfering with business dealings without indisputable evidence. Legal experts think it's difficult to win the case. However, the mere possibility of a lawsuit may have a negative impact on both of their careers. This is being treated like a heavyweight fight by the fans, like a conspiracy map. Every Instagram live, every subtweet, and every mysterious lyric in a freestyle is being examined. A Papoose vs. Claressa scoreboard on TikTok even tracks each alleged victory and defeat in real time. A leaked audio tape, however, is the most significant indication that this war is far from over. The clip is blurry, unreliable, and possibly phony. It has a woman's voice, reportedly that of Claressa, saying, "He thought I was just his girl. I was always a main event." However, perception frequently prevails over reality in the court of public opinion. The feud is now more significant than the split. It's a survival test. Until the audience grows weary and goes on, who can outspan, outlast, and outmaneuver the other? Furthermore, neither Papoose nor Claressa appears prepared to go bankrupt in a society where attention is worth money. There is one more twist, though, and it has the potential to completely change the course of this tale, because a third party is involved in this drama. According to a source we are not yet able to identify, someone who has their own resentment, their own invoices, and their own scheme to reveal something shocking that might destroy them both. And that's where things are going to turn dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. The rumors about an enigmatic third party quickly gained momentum. It sounded at first like another conspiracy theory on the internet, the kind that fans make up when the drama becomes too intricate. However, everything changed with a single screenshot. It featured a blurred-out contract with 3 signatures, and was posted anonymously to a gossip blog that is notorious for revealing business secrets. Papoose and Claressa Shields were the first to that were readily apparent. However, on the third, things became crazy because the name matched someone who was at odds with both of them. Derek "Heatwave" Thomas, a former promoter. For those who don't know, Heatwave used to be well known in the underground boxing meets hip-hop scene. He organized events that combined exhibition fights with rap acts. He also collaborated closely with Claressa and Papoose for a while. However, at some point, agreements broke down, funds vanished, and resentments were sparked. Heatwave has reportedly been waiting for the ideal time to release a folder of his own, based on hacked direct messages purportedly exchanged with an anonymous blogger. He claims to have evidence in these chats that Papoose and Claressa both participated in dubious activities, such as double booking appearances and ghosted payments. According to one purported message, they are both scammers. Papoose is the victim, Claressa is the boss. In reality, they both took advantage of one another and believed that no one was keeping receipts. This is untrue. I kept everything. If that's the case, Heatwave isn't just here to expose, he's here to burn it all down. But why now? Why drop this in the middle of their very public feud? Industry insiders have one theory. Heatwave knows that when two public figures are busy attacking each other, they're too distracted to defend against a third strike. If his plan works, he walks away with the upper hand while they're busy cleaning up their own mess. The real kicker is that a voice note purportedly reveals Heatwave laughing once more. The video went viral right away, and admirers are now divided into 3 groups, regardless of whether it's a masterpiece by trolls or real. Team Papoose, certain that he is the one who is being sabotaged from every angle. Team Claressa, thinking that she is only protecting her career from a man who is trying to use her name for relevance. And Team Burn It All, hoping that Heatwave will release everything and watch the chaos unfold. In the meantime, Papoose and Claressa find themselves in a strange situation for the first time since this war began. They may have a common enemy, but will they put aside their differences to deal with Heatwave? Or will their animosity overcome common sense? According to one insider, there has been a back-channel attempt at communication, not a reconciliation, just a ceasefire. Supposedly, a mutual contact reached out to both sides with the same message: Heatwave's coming for you both. Handle that, then go back to killing each other. No word yet on whether either party agreed. According to rumors, Heatwave has contracts that show unpaid appearance fees, emails that contradict both of their public statements, and even behind-the-scenes footage from events that will change your opinion of them forever. The gossip blogs are exploding, and every day there's a new exclusive that claims the drop is happening any minute. Twitter, or X, depending on who you ask, is rife with countdown threads, reaction memes, and wild theories about what the footage might contain. And then there's the paranoia. Claressa's camp is apparently reaching out in secret, while Papoose's team is allegedly going over old agreements and removing anything that might be used against him, contacting big sponsors to convince them that whatever happens won't impact her business. However, in a surprising turn of events, Heatwave himself posted a mysterious image of an unlit matchstick on Instagram with the remark, "Deciding when to strike." Because, according to some sources, Heatwave isn't looking to win this fight. Instead, he's looking to burn down the entire arena and walk away laughing. The scary part is that he might actually pull it off. If Heatwave's evidence drops, it could destroy whatever credibility Papoose has left. Fans were pleading for the receipts. Others were calling him a clout chaser, and some warned him that nudging to public figures with large fan bases could backfire badly. The real danger here is that, when this folder drops, if it does, it won't just be the end of a messy breakup story. It will be the beginning of a scandal neither of them can fully control. And in the messy, unpredictable world of public drama, that's the one punch no one ever sees coming. So, you've heard it all: the breakups, the betrayals, the shady contracts, and the mysterious Heatwave folder that could destroy the careers in one go. And what about Claressa? Is she really the mastermind some say she is, planning a covert takeover while posing as a victim? Or is she just a fighter caught in the crossfire, her reputation dragged into the mud by two men with scores to settle? Because here's the thing, in this game, perception isn't just reality, it's the whole story. Once the public decides what's true, there's no turning back. Screenshots never die, voice notes never vanish, and when the internet gets bored, it doesn't. We're talking full unfiltered opinions, because you already know the teams are lining up in the replies. And if you think this is the last twist, think again. We connect the dots even when they are buried 6 feet under. So smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications, because when the next piece of the scandal drops, you'll want to be the first to say you saw it here first. Forgiveness forgets you. So, which side are you on? Are you riding with Papoose standing by Claressa? Or are you secretly waiting for Heatwave to drop the nuke and watch them all burn? Watch them all burn.